EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for January 18th, 2019. For your Friday, we're going to have this system exiting very early and decreasing clouds throughout the day. And not too bad of a day today, kind of mild compared to recent days. We're going to get up to near the 40-degree mark in some locations, maybe even over 40 degrees in a couple of southeastern locations. So any of that snow that fell overnight, most of you saw a coating to an inch or two. Not a whole lot of snow, but it was enough to get things a little bit slippery in some spots this morning. That will be moving away. You will have, at the very least, the roadways will melt off of all that snow, and you'll be in the clear for your ride home today. So from work or school or wherever you're going. So it will be a little bit milder today, and overnight tonight we get back down into the middle 20s. Now, everybody, of course, is focused on this weekend wave here. I can tell you, folks, this video is not going to be as long as it was the last couple days. I actually had email complaints of people saying, your videos are too long. I mean, folks, I had 2 storms to cover. I had a lot to talk about. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go that long. We won't go that long in this video here because I only have one to deal with. But there's some very interesting things with this weekend storm here. And I know we put a first call out for this system. It was with a blend of the best available information we had at that time. I'm telling you, being a first call, the first call we made on that system. Now, we don't really do the first call, second call, final call stuff anymore, but we're going to have an updated version of that today. Again, I'm telling you, it's going to change. It's what it does. The thing we start to hone in as we get a little bit closer, and at the time we put out all that information for the first call. It looked like it was going a certain way, and it might still go that way. I mean, we might not have to change it at all. That's rare, but you will likely have changes with that. So just expect that today. Here's that system coming in on the weekend. It looks like it's going to be early afternoon on Saturday and late afternoon further east. The western areas are really early afternoon, late afternoon further east on Saturday. That's when it comes in. Comes in as a thump of snow on the front end. Now the question is, how long does that thump, so to speak, last? Okay. The models today did trend a little bit warmer, and that's why we have our first call structure the way it is. We're not being conservative. We're not doing scared forecasting, and we're not worried about busting high or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a blend of everything we had this afternoon. There are some more aggressive models more recently since we've done that first call. We'll get into that in a second too. But anyway, it looks like the whole general idea was the models are trying to bring a lot more warm air into this, so they were not as cold today, and it cut down on accumulations. The whole general idea is you start off as snow right here, and then at some point you get a changeover to ice and then rain from south to north, but it doesn't get all the way up here. So these big jackpot areas here that we had on our map of 12 to 18 plus, I think they're still gonna be good for that. I think as far northern areas will never change over. It's just a matter of, this is the GFS, and this thing showed rain all the way up here. I mean, that's pretty far north. That takes over care of the entire state of New Jersey and all the way up to by Wilkes-Barre, Scranton almost. I don't think it gets up that far. We did not structure our map that way. Okay, we're a little bit more generous in the snow further south, but not as generous as a lot of these maps I'm seeing floating around here that are apparently looking at snow maps and not accounting for sleet and freezing rain mixing in and that kind of thing. So we do think there's going to be some icing, significant icing actually in the middle, and that could be a problem somewhere. And then I think after the system pulls away, we're going to see rain changing back to snow before it ends, and we're going to get really, really windy, and we're going to have a flash freeze and black ice all over the roads and everything. It's wet out there, wet, chunky snow that's out there that people removed or that you didn't remove is going to turn into solid blocks of ice because it's going to be cold on Sunday night. Single digits. Maybe some below zero readings. Same thing for Monday night. Monday during the day, highs in the teens, barely. Some places single digits for highs. Wind chills well below zero. It's not going to be fun. Not fun at all. And this is only a first piece of the polar vortex breaking off. This is not the full pattern change that I was talking about hitting on the 20th. We are going to get a pattern change on the 20th. We're going to have that cold air sticking around to about the 22nd, which is Tuesday. And the 23rd, 24th, you're going to have a 2-day warm-up. 2 days. That's it. And the warm-up's going to be kind of like today, right around 40. That's it. Not warm. It's not going to be 50s and 60s. 2 days of 40. And it goes south, below freezing, and it stays that way for a month at least. So pattern change is still coming, folks. Just relax. All right, so here is that system pulling away again. Very cold air moving in behind it. And then once this exits, we still have the windy conditions that will prevail and continue into Monday. Okay, so let's get over the NAM High-Res Future Simulated Radar, and I find this interesting because this is looking at 4 p.m. on Saturday, so it's coming in at the time we thought. So here is 4 p.m. and what the radar is looking like. Coming in as snow. Now the new NAM is very cold, and keeps it colder longer with this warm air stay. The 32-degree line, as you see, is all the way down here to the south. So this is all falling as snow, and pretty heavy snow. And there's that thump of snow you get on the front end. This is 7 p.m. We go over to 10 p.m., you see that line starts moving over to the north, but you still get some really heavy snow in the middle here. Now, if this solution verified here, we would have to increase our totals. Could happen. Like I said, we did a first call. It's not the final call. And there's going to be changes. That's what we do. That's how you adjust. All right, so we give you a pretty good idea of what to expect so you can prepare, and then we're going to fine-tune it as we go forward. If you did not do that, and there are sites that do that and live and die by their first forecast they put out, that's on them. I'm not doing that. All right, so here's Saturday at 10 o'clock. All right, and then that shows by the time you get to 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, you get some sleet and freezing rain and extensive icing up here. But if you notice, the new NAM is keeping the 32-degree line right here below I-78. So what does that mean? Even though that means we're not changing over to rain here in these areas. It's going to stay ice or snow. And a tremendous amount of snow. If this solution works out, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, your areas up there, and those areas might not even change over to freezing rain. It gets awfully close. The line gets awfully close there, as you can see there. Here's the sleet. Here's the freezing rain. But this is 4 o'clock in the morning, and it still has not gone below freezing. You're still seeing the 32-degree line running right about here. See that? So you're getting the frozen precipitation continuing, and then once we get into later in the morning, as we start to see this pull away, snow, everything's going to change to snow from northwest to southeast all the way down probably to the coast, and you're going to have a quick burst of snow, and then that's it. So that's how I think it's going to evolve. It's just a matter of fine-tuning of exactly. So when you're dealing with these rain, snow lines, rain, sleet, freezing rain, snow lines, trying to figure out where that is, it's almost impossible, and it's usually your final call is going to be close, but it's not going to be exact. All right, and then if you have more freezing rain and sleet instead of the snow that you expected, then you have problems with, then you have less snow than you predicted. If you have something like we had the week before November, we thought it was going to be a lot more sleet, freezing rain involved. This is a perfect situation. And that sleet and freezing, my dog barking. There's that sleet and freezing rain that did not occur in some areas, and we got a lot more snow than we expected. So this can happen. All right, so just continue to follow along with us. We'll continue to guide you through this system. And then we'll have another call out later today. So then going forward after this point, we have another system coming in the middle of the week. It's going to be cold on Monday and Tuesday, very, very cold, brutal. Monday, but not so brutal on Tuesday, but still well below freezing temperatures. And then we have another system coming in here in the middle of the week on Wednesday. Most likely it's going to warm up. It's going to come right in that middle transient period here, but it's just showers, folks. It's not a real big deal. And then that's going to move through, and then once that moves through, we get back into the cold, and we stay cold for a very long time. Again, this is the true cold air coming in. We have the first shot of it coming in, a piece of that coming in for Sunday night through Tuesday, and then after that we start a 2-day moderation and then right back into it once it reloads and comes right back through. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 18th, 2019. Have a great Friday.